And before we get started, I'd like to mention that in an effort to keep this game starting on time, I bribe the players. And so for being in video and technical, everything in proper time this evening, 4 of our characters, Andwise, Azatoth, Pip, and Thales, were granted a charm from a Chwinga charm that allows them 1 use of Leonid's tiny hut. So I just thought I'd mention, if you see them using their little shelters here, it's all on the up and up. That's my attempt to start on time. So let's dig into it, into the frozen north on the Icewind Dale map, which is where you are. Excellent. Alrighty. Kalimshan is the southernmost nation in West Faerun. From the Kalim Desert in the west to the Spider Swamp in the east, from the Marching Mountains in the north to the Shining Sea in the south, this diverse nation built heavily on trade. Status was measured not in wealth in and of itself, but in the ability to live comfortably in that wealth. As such, they looked down upon those who lived off the charity of others and those that adventure. Founded by Kalashite settlers, Tourmaline is widely regarded as the most picturesque town in Icewind Dale. A charming little village surrounded by striking natural beauty, trees planted even in amongst the town buildings. Its buildings incorporate carvings of wizards, homunculi, tigers, and smiling djinn. For most visitors, the enchantment of the town is dispelled, though, as soon as they feel the icy claws and teeth of the cold wind sweeping down from the north, shearing through their layers of clothing. Tourmaline was built in the path of this dreadful gale, which continues well past the town to hairy fissures on the southern half of the lake. Our intrepid heroes here will find this for themselves. In addition to fishers and shipbuilders and scrimshanters, Tourmaline is home to miners who harvest gemstones from a cavern complex set into a low hill north and east of the settlement. Our adventurers earned several bloodstones, retrieving lost iron for the dwarven proprietors of black iron blades in Bryn Shander. A shipment had gone astray when the dwarven party was attacked by a yeti. But before the dwarves could retrieve their goods, a group of goblins had found and claimed it. Our heroes had encountered and helped these goblins and easily found them again and negotiated the return of the load. But our heroes have less use for bloodstones than for, say, like a diamond or a pearl. They plan to travel to Tourmaline in hopes of trading for the gems they prefer. And we join our heroes now, waking in the back room of Black Iron Blades in Bryn Shander. You are free to move about to the cabin.
So, and that rubs his forehead. Presumably, after returning to any kind of civilized town, he immediately to travel to the local inn and tavern and initiate the to the delightful nectar of boot beer and fishes. So, rubbing his forehead, we had business here, yeah?
I believe so.
I'll move you to the Bryn Shander map that shows where the party is.
So, did anybody happen to see if there was something around town or so specific to that we maybe Wait, Bryn Shander? I thought we were in Terminal.
You're in Bryn Shander right now, waking up at the Black Iron Blades, having just returned the iron to them, and they offered you lodging for the night since you got in very late.
Right! We want to go to Terminal.
You want to go to Tourmaline.
Well, I'll be right here whenever we're...
Tallies is just kind of sat. He's been awake for a while, just kind of scrolling notes in his book. Yeah. We can set off whenever.
Pip is
there's
still
kind of
sound
a-
asleep.
There's kind of a clattering noise as the dwarven woman comes in bearing a tray. She says, "I thought I'd send you off with some hearty breakfast here. I hope you like tea and a nice porridge." And she comes bustling in and sort of sets it up. "We are ever so grateful that you brought that iron back in. My brother is so much more cheerful today than he was. Garn he'd been off his feet and now he's all better. It's such a relief."
Thank you for the tea and porridge. It's most gracious of you. And Landar goes to sit down and eat.
And she bustles on her way back out. "And just let me know if you need anything."
Tallies is still just scrolling notes. He'll occasionally kind of fumble around, not looking at what he's doing, reaching around for the tea, and then he'll have a bit of a sip and then put it back down and go back to scrolling.
Bladrin. Look at that. Having some issues here today. Thank you for the resub.
And you hear
Appreciate
kind
that.
of in the distance, "Well, yeah, they're awake, but I don't think they're much in the way of morning people."
Pip hearing, people starting getting up and making food. He's just gonna kind of roll over and pull his blankets or whatever closer over him.
And there start being noises off in the forge as they're heating the forge up, and the bellows are going, and they're starting to test out the anvil, and it's about to get really noisy and busy in here.
Sensing that, Tallies will just kind of loudly snap his book closed in his hand and get up and say, "Right, shall we be on our way?"
Yes, we must head
You're
for
heading to
Tourmaline.
Tourmaline, right?
Yes. Landar's going to finish eating, stand up, and go to wake Pip up and get him moving because we don't need him sleeping all day. Otherwise, Azathoth is going to have to drag him.
And his snowshoes fit now.
Yep.
All right. Seeing that Tally's closed his book, Andwise is going to get up, go over and get some food, since what I was doing has been interrupted.
Looking ahead to the map, going by the road, it's about 2 hours from Bryn Shander to Targos and another 4 hours to Tourmaline. So you should be there in the early afternoon.
So we stopping through Targos?
You could stop in at Targos if you'd like.
There's no reason not. There's no reason
I mean,
not
we could stop off if there's something that somebody specifically wants to do here. But I'm eager to get to Tourmaline. Once I can get that diamond, I'll have a focus to be able to use a useful spell.
So should we go cross country and try and cut some?
No. Probably traveling along the road would be safer and faster.
I think we should just stick to the road, but not really stop in. and just kind of pass it.
So
And
those
he's-
of you
Sorry,
Those
go
of
ahead.
you who've been in the area, you know that the road to Tourmaline does split off right before Targos is up on a hill, and the road to Tourmaline splits off at the bottom of the hill. You don't have to go actually into the town. It takes you, your speed is about half if you go cross country as if you go by the roads. Although, as you can see, there's a fair switchback distance. You could potentially try to cut some time off if you wanted to.
I'm fine cutting cross country if it's going to save us some time, for sure. After all, it'll give us time to, see if there's anything going on in Tourmaline that we can gather some more research notes on and whatnot.
Whatever's the fastest route is fine with me.
Get some more practice with magic.
Well, I'm going for cross country to get there to Tourmaline a little faster.
Cross country it is then.
So as you gather things and head out, what is your marching order going to be? Who's navigating? Landar, you frequently navigate.
Yeah, I'll take lead on navigation.
I'll be next, towards the front, and ready to assist if needed.
Okay, who's going to follow him?
It's looking like Azathoth.
Yep.
Yeah, that's the order you guys had before, if you want to continue it.
Yeah, I'm next in line after him.
And instead of trailing all the way in the back, I'm going to walk next to Talius so I can discuss this magic that he speaks of.
Okay. So it's a heavy overcast today with light flurries of snow. You cannot see Kelvin's cairn from where we are setting off. So, Landar, give me a survival check and let's see how well we get set off. Oh. Although Landar seems to be navigating just fine, must have been through here before. And we are on the Warbucks, we are on the area map, the Icewind Dale map. So let's see, if it had been 2, 4, okay, so it's been about 3 hours to get to this point, and you are heading up the road. As you head up the road, you see coming towards you what looks like a sled dog with its traces dragging on the ground behind him. As he comes panting up and seeing you, he comes up and starts barking at you.
Well, this is never good. Are the straps, are they like torn or do they look damaged?
Looking at them carefully, when he stops moving enough for you to grab a hold of one and take a look at it, it looks like it's been chewed through.
Saying this, I'll call this out. It's like, possibly we might have another Yeti attacking the roadways.
Maybe the dog chewed it.
That's
He
possible.
escaped. I'm gonna walk up to it and start petting it. Are you lost, buddy?
And as you start touching it, I mean, the dog is quite thin. As you get closer and really looking at him, he looks thin, tired, and anxious. And he seems to be, as you reach to touch him, he sort of turns around and moves kind of away from you a little bit, but then he stops and turns back and looks at you. And he turns and kind of barks at you again.
Do you think he might want us to follow him?
It's possible. Is he going back the direction that he originally came?
Yep, he's headed kind of that way. Kind of up the road, but kind of bridging off the road a little bit.
I mean, we should follow it, should we?
It might be in our best interest because whoever was attached to the other end of those leashes and things might be in trouble. So Landar is going to start heading, following the dog and see where it goes to take us and see if anybody else is coming with me.
Yep, Tallies will hurry along as well.
I'll come too.
And he mostly goes along the road, and so you're going the same direction you were going, pretty much. But as you get up, after about another, let's say 45 minutes or so, he's definitely starting to break trail off the road and heading out into the wilderness, I suppose we can call it. You're about an hour from Tourmaline, maybe a little less. It's kind of midday-ish.
No, I'm still following the dog.
Yeah, it makes sense to follow the dog. We might lose a little bit of time getting to Tourmaline, but I mean, if somebody needs help, then it makes more sense to get there sooner rather than later.
As we walk, I'm just going to tap myself on the chest and mutter a small prayer, casting false life on myself. Because I can.
That's a good point. I'm also gonna fix myself up with a mage armor.
So, as you start heading off to the wilderness, after close to an hour, the dog is getting more anxious and is continuing to go further. He's flagging and seeming to get quite tired. But he's still continuing to go, and he stays ahead of you as you try and get close to him. He continues to move away from you and ahead of you, and he keeps turning around and barking and sort of waiting to see if you're going to follow.
I'm still following, but I'll also try to pull out some water to see if the dog would like a drink to give it a little bit more energy before we keep moving on.
He'll accept a drink. And as he comes up that close to you, you can tell he's really, really panting kind of hard and looking nearly on his legs, but still very, very determined. And after he laps a few times, he starts heading off again, further in that direction. I get the rest of that. For some reason, I can't capture the rest of that arrow that I drew. Here we go. There. And as you get past midday and into the early afternoon, the skies are starting to clear up a little bit. And you can see that you're heading. Oh, let me draw another arrow again. All right, he's got you heading kind of that way.
I'm still following, and would I know the area well enough to know that we're getting close to Dwarven Valley again?
Because when the skies clear up and you can tell that you're heading towards the cairn, I mean, you're sort of aiming in the direction of the cairn, and the Dwarven Valley goes right along under it. So yes, you would know that.
Okay. So I just wanted that for thought and continue following the dog.
Okay. And it gets into mid-afternoon and even late. Oops, wrong tool. Even late afternoon, and you are still continuing up along parallel. It doesn't look like he's leading you into the Dwarven Valley. He's continuing parallel. And he's moving, it's getting easier and easier to keep up with him because he's moving slower and slower and slower, but he still has a very determined pace.
Why, hello, Torontogosh. Thank you for the resub, brother. 32 months. Thank you for all
I
the
assume we're
support.
gonna keep going
Been a
until we
pleasure.
get to where we're
How are you
gonna
doing
be.
today?
Okay. So evening comes on. You guys are nearing the foot of Kelvin's cairn. And the dog's about ready to collapse.
Is there a way for me to try and halt the dog and potentially like have it rest a little bit and feed it some rations?
So what are you going to do to try to do that? I mean, offer it rations, and then are you going to try and restrain it?
Well, by grabbing hold of like the leash and stuff that's attached to it to be able to hold on to that and try and get it to rest for a moment.
So by you offering it food and water, he does kind of, does take some of a bit of a rest, but whines a bit periodically and seems anxious to move on. And while you're focused on that, you do hear a high wailing noise sort of floating across the breeze. Azathoth, you started to say?
I was gonna say I would stoop down and try to pick him up, and then carry him in the direction that he was heading. If
Okay.
it'll let me.
He kind of struggles weakly at first, but then as you start moving in the direction that he'd been wanting to go, he kind of sort of slumps in your arms and allows you to carry him. As you near up, it's getting well into the evening, maybe even late in the evening, and you're basically at the foot of the cairn. Are you going to put him down to figure out which way he goes?
If it's not possible to tell while holding him, then yeah, I would set him down to see which direction.
And he leads you around off to the side, I mean, kind of slowly there. But you come to, it is now very much dark, very late evening. It's snowing lightly. And you come across what looks like a camp of a couple of tents pitched in the snow. There's an icy outcropping that sort of acts like a windbreaker and sort of a shelter. And between the tents, actually, even before you quite get there, you can hear some whining and a little bit of barking. You can see an overturned sled between the two tents. And still harnessed to the sled are 5 more dogs. And you can see where the traces have been chewed off. It looks like the traces that this dog has match up with the sled.
So moving forward, recognizing the danger here, I'm going to pull out Nothing. I'm going to hold out my hand and say, somebody, give me a knife.
I actually think I have one.
I don't have any knives.
Yeah, Tallies will hand you one.
All right.
I have
and
a
then,
common knife. How do you eat without having a knife?
I don't know. I
He
guess
cuts with his
there would
teeth.
be a knife in like a mess kit. No, mess kit isn't standard gear either. All right, who needs utensils? I use my hands. Anyway, now armed with Dali's dagger, I'm going to start cutting free the remainder of the dogs. And assuming they don't immediately run off once free of the bindings, I'm gonna try to kind of huddle them around to keep them warm, and I'll put rations out for them to eat.
Get in there close to them. You do see that kind of under the sled. It looks like there are a couple of crates, and one of which has been broken into, and it looks like the dogs have been eating at provisions from there.
Okay.
All right, seeing that he's going to go cut the dogs loose, I'm going to run up and start just unclicking all the harnesses to release them.
Okay.
The harnesses could be useful later. Why cut them?
I'm gonna point to where part of the harness has already been ruined by the dog that has chewed through them.
That's 1 out of 6. There's 5 that are still good.
A
But they
single
go as
unit.
yeah, they go as a set.
And so the dog that you were following kind of, goes up and noses around the other dogs, and the other dogs look kind of miserable and unhappy, and it
Why,
looks like
hello,
they'd like
Karen.
to, seek shelter, but they kind of cuddle up inside one of the tents that is there. But the one dog that you'd been following is still
One
kind of
table
whining
I,
and looks
one
like he
table
still
G.
wants to continue on. And then continue on into the night?
Well.
I
Have we
don't-
freed all the dogs?
Yes. It only took you a few minutes to free the dogs.
And then, what did they do?
So they wanted
Well,
to
so the
attack.
dogs being loose, kind of huddled up into one of the tents for a little bit of shelter, and looks like they're going to settle down and sleep, except for the one that you followed.
Is there tents set up or just one?
There were the 2 tents that were set up there that you came upon.
I'd like to go go investigate those out. Probably go look inside the one that the dogs aren't in first.
Okay. Just you've become fairly familiar with tents and the standard equipment in them. It looks like it set up. The other crate that was under the sled had additional rations. That's the word. Words. Karis knows words. Has additional rations and stuff. It looks like there's some spare
+2. Not bad.
shield +2.
Talking to chat.
Ah, okay. Where was I? Oh
Any
yeah, it looks
markings
like
on the
it's
crate?
the other crate looks like it contains a fair amount of rations, probably enough to feed like
Ruined your day.
4 people for 3 days. I mean, so it's a good number there. I mean, there isn't much here. Mostly just the sort of stuff you would have like at a base camp. Looking around, you can tell it looks like there were probably 5 or 6 total people.
Well, I guess we should just keep following the dog.
into the night.
Guess so.
For some of it, at
Okay.
least.
I am going to change us then to here, the Kelvin's Cairn map. If I can find it. Ha. Right. So as you actually start getting up onto the mountain proper, let me get down near the bottom here. Did I move you? I didn't move you guys. Hang on, let me move you guys so that you can see it too. That would probably be helpful. There. Navigation. Okay, so you guys are starting down here, and I am going to
Pretty.
all right. So, looking at the hill here, the way that the dog is headed, and I'm on the wrong layer again, the way the dog is headed looks like you can kind of make out a trail. You can't see very far ahead because it's pretty dark. And as you start getting onto the mountain proper, it is getting, the ground is quite icy. The wind is starting to blow more. The snow is starting to come more heavily. And the dog is scrambling his way up. And I should have grabbed a party token, shouldn't I have? Let me grab a party token. I can't find a party token. Where did I put a party token? Yeah, here's a party token. Although I suppose I could have just used the dog as a party token. That was probably the thing to do. Karis, you didn't think this through. All right. Actually, I'm going to use the dog as the party token. You can kind of see it making and struggling and making its way up. And I'm going to need a round of Thales needs to light a torch. Okay. I am going to need a round of, you can choose survival, athletics, or acrobatics as you're trying to make your way over. There is sort of a trail-ish, but it is quite difficult and icy here. Oh, Astoth. What? Good Lord, you people. Oh,
We've all
thank
been
you.
here for
Tally
quite some
has a
time.
normal roll. Who am I missing? I'm missing Cairo.
Yeah, I know. I rolled it on D&D Beyond, but
Oh, you don't have the
hold on.
Beyond 20 plugin? What was your roll?
No, I think I do. Just give me a minute. It was 18.
Okay.
So what
So-
you've got is basically a nerd in a party of pro athletes.
I think so. So are any of you, I assume that you're going together as a group, and as Tally's slips and slides, somebody reaches out and grabs him and helps him regain his footing. All right.
Someone should make a spell for that.
If I'm close
It
to him,
is
I do.
I'm going to say it's past midnight as you're making your way up. I mean, yes, you have snowshoes and you have crampons on your, and you have crampons and all, but you really aren't equipped for climbing. Are you going to put into any safety measures into effect?
It depends. How fast is the dog moving, and can we still keep up with it if we take additional time for pittons and rope and some kind of safety harness.
At this point, the dog is now pretty well staying with you. He keeps whining and keeps trying to move a little bit ahead of you, but as you slow down, he slows down with you and he's not leaving you behind. He is also very tired, very exhausted. And so even he's slipping occasionally.
Poor dog.
Well, if we have time and we're just for safety's sake, I would be trying to put some pittons and some rope as we climb to keep us at least from falling.
Well, I would figure if we I have a hammer in pittons, we could put a hammer a pitton into the rock and then kind of rope just loop our rope around it as we go, so that as we climb there's also this handhold, this rope that we can use to pull ourselves along. I mean, who's in the front? Is it you? I think it is you and me are still in the front of the marching order.
I can grab the marching order from.
So yeah, let's just say we do that, right?
Okay.
As we move along, and I have 10 pittons and 50 foot of rope, so maybe using half of the pittons to put these markers every 10 feet, and then after my rope is out, someone else is gonna have to volunteer theirs to keep it going.
Yeah, Landar would keep it going with his 50 foot of rope as well.
Would we need more than 100 feet of rope?
If you're gonna, depends. If you take up the prior one behind you, and so you always have one, and then you're gonna put the next one in front of you, and then leapfrogging
No,
it.
I would assume we would leave it, and then we would recover it on the way back down.
Correct.
Let's see. I have no idea if this map is to scale.
It says
I did not scale the map. Where's the scaling on the
like
map?
from the floor to where we are now, it says it's 25 feet. And then we'll be another, say,
Yeah.
so maybe 100 feet should be plenty.
Let me
Hello,
see if that
Norse
actually
Dawn.
has
Hi,
anything.
hi.
Yeah, I have
Hello.
no scaling
Just-
information. It can't be that close.
Thank you for the
though,
resub. Appreciate that very much. How is everyone?
going up the mountain.
All right. Well, we have 100 feet of rope to help secure us as we climb.
Okay.
And then, once all the rope and the pittons are secured, I would be moving the dog as we go, right? So it would be this routine of hammer the pitton, loop the rope, hand it off to him so that he can pull it as he goes up ahead of me, and then grab the dog, carry it the next 10 feet, set him down, hammer the pitton, loop the rope, pass it off to him so we can pull it the next 10 feet, and we'll just keep this going as we ascend.
Okay.
I have spare rope if you guys need more for the next 150 feet.
Sure. If we get to the point where we run out of rope, I'm taking yours.
I'm gonna say you're gonna run out of rope. This is gonna be slow going.
Okay, then yeah. And
When you get
again,
up
we'll leave, we hammer it in and we leave it there on the side of the mountain. And then when we double back to go back, we'll pull it down as we go.
So I guess before we start climbing, I'll hand over my rope as well, so that you've got plenty to go at.
Yeah. Yes. All of the rope.
And Landar has pittons as well, so we have at least enough for all 4 ropes at 10 feet apiece.
Yeah.
as you go through a couple of clefts, the dog starts, something catches its attention. He's kind of sniffing with his nose off onto the side, but you really can't tell what it is. I have a scaling thing. Hundreds of feet up the mountain.
Yep. We have...
Okay, so yeah, this is going to be a long climb. Let's see here. So you continue on. So I keep moving things around. As you are crossing an expanse of packed snow, kind of here. Let's see. Landar and Azatoth, if you would give me perception checks, please.
Perception?
Yes. Okay. Azatoth, you are hearing a rumbling sound starting below you, or above you, starting above you. And as a native of this area, and I'm throwing my pen out, as a native of this area, you know what that signifies. It signifies an avalanche coming. So, looking up, if we're in this marching order we have down here, Andwise and Thales are probably directly in the path of it, and they are going to need to move at least 100 feet to get clear. And I need, let's see, I'm not going to bother with initiative for that.
On Andwise
So,
and
you
Talis.
got...
So, I'm just going to point to the peak of the mountain. I'm just going to turn and yell, Avalanche! And then panic, because I don't think they can move out of the way of 100 feet of snow and ice.
I'm not so sure we can.
Okay.
So are they with?
Well, maybe we should roll initiative then to make sure that we know what everybody's doing. So let's go ahead and roll initiative for it.
Okay. Come on, baby. Hey.
Tally's he's on the ball.
What?
I didn't click my token for the first one, so I changed the number.
Not that. I rolled a crit, and Andwise is still faster than me. Stupid dex classes.
I'm not seen Azatoth.
I don't know. My token is definitely selected. It still is selected. That's okay.
Okay. Andwise, Azatoth has said there's an avalanche coming and is pointing above you. You are near the back of the line. You can make a perception check to see how well you see what's moving and what the dynamics are around it. Okay, you don't know anything about avalanches, and you see, okay, yeah, there's something moving up there, but you don't really know the dynamics of it. What are you going to do?
Oh no.
And you are in with the ropes here.
Well, considering I don't know what an avalanche is, and obviously I don't see anything, I'm just going to keep trying to move up along the ropes that these guys are putting down on the path here.
Okay. Azatoth.
Okay. So I was the one who spotted it, and I know that it's Tale, and wise that are in the way, right? The rest of us are far enough ahead. Are we not going to be affected?
Well, so what you know about avalanches is it could be, 1 or 200 feet wide. It could, it can cover a long, it could easily be 30 feet. It can spread out. So if they're kind of in the middle of it, you figure they're going to need to move a good 100 feet to be safe, which means that like Pip is going to need to move, say, 90 feet. Kyra's going to need to move 80 feet. If you guys are about 10 feet apart, you're going to need to move.
So we all need to get out.
You're going to need to move, yeah.
Okay. So I'm gonna turn around and I'm gonna say, run, all of you, up the mountain, run. And if you can't run, hold on to the rope and stay put. Do not move. I'll come for you. And I'm gonna turn. I'm gonna dash and try to climb as far as I can. So it's probably only like 30 feet because I don't have a climb speed. But after
And
that,
with the difficulty.
yeah, so I'll be done.
Okay. Pip. You may roll a perception check to see how on the ball you are about what's going on.
Did I move?
Yeah, I'm trying to think what would be the best way to do it. You're caught completely off guard and you have not the least idea.
I barely even heard what he was shouting about. I'm just going to keep continuing up the rope.
Landar.
All right, so are we all at least within 30 feet of one another?
If you're running about 10 feet apart, 10, 20, 30, these two were kind of going together along behind. You're close to 30 feet.
All right, I'm going to try and do a thing. So let's see if this works at all. So Landar is going to start trying to trace sigils onto the ice and snow around, and then he's going to try and shape out a massive wedge to try and help divert all of the incoming avalanche away from the party. So affecting like a 30-foot area, a nice giant 15-foot triangle shape to divert the snow in opposite directions coming down.
Okay. So kind of like a snow shield.
You didn't
Correct.
You didn't link the ability. I have no idea what you're doing. So if you could link it for me in the chat, that'd be great.
Yeah.
I thought I did.
But yeah, it says elemental disciplines are presented, but it doesn't say what they are or what they do.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It does not say that on my side.
Yeah, it doesn't say it here. It says that they're presented in alphabetical order.
There we go.
Neat. What kind of monk are you?
I'm an elemental monk.
Right on, man.
All right.
They exist.
They do exist.
This is perfect.
And it was useful.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. So you've created that. Are you going to do anything else as well?
It takes my entire action. That's all I've got.
Okay, so Landar has turned around and then sort of moved out his hands and let the energy flow through him, and as the snow and ice has packed up and created a shield like they have over freeways that go over passes, a snow shield to let the snow go over the top and protect the people underneath. That is slick. Kyra, what are you doing? You can do a
All right,
perception
so
check to see if how much you parse out what you're seeing around you. Oh, goody, another oblivious person.
Jesus Christ, man.
Okay, so somebody up ahead
also
is
I didn't.
shouting something, and the snow kind of off to your side is sort of moving and is kind of doing something, and you don't know what the hell's going on. And it's dark, and it's kind of snowing, and stuff's sort of moving around you, and it's kind of confusing. What are you going to do?
All right, so how far apart are we from each other?
About 10 feet apart. So Landar right ahead of you. Oops, I'm drawing again instead of moving people. So Landar's right ahead of you and had turned around and kind of made gestures towards the snow, and sort of manipulating the snow. And Pip
All
is
right,
about 10
so
feet behind you, and you've got the rope that you're kind of following that's hammered into stakes into the wall that you're using as a guideline.
okay, in which case I think I might quicken my pace to get closer to him just to find out what's going on.
Oh. Tallies.
All right. Well, I'm not going to roll to see how well I notice this because I think my initiative speaks for itself. So I have no idea what's going on. I heard a shout, and suddenly this big wall of ice appears above me, and I see it rumbling. I'm familiar with avalanches, having lived with some Goliaths up in the mountains for a while, so I know that I could be in a serious amount of trouble. So the only thing I'm going to do is try and make sure that I'm under the shield and just brace and hope for the best.
So I'm not going to bother with the rest of this because we've got, the nice shield, and I assume that as each of you becomes aware of what's going on, the others around you become a little more aware of what's going on. And over time, it becomes this thunderous roar. And it kind of seems like the whole world has been blotted out as the snow is just cascading down the mountain, but it's shooting across the shield that he's gotten over you and continuing down. And so even though the things are rumbling around you and your footing is a little unsteady, by hanging on to the ropes that you've had as guidelines there, you're able to just ride it out safely where you are. And I assume someone has grabbed the dog at the top?
Yes, of course. I was muted, but yes, of course. As I
Yes, of course.
scramble up the mountain, I would, of course, scoop up Doggo and take him with me.
Okay. And so after it seems like forever, of course, because time is sort of dilated, but it's probably only been a minute as it all just sort of thunders down the hill and almost reshapes the land and the snow and stuff down below you, and it starts calming down. And how long does your 100 feet of you? It just shapes the water, and so it doesn't have a duration on it, does it? It's an instantaneous thing that does it. Okay.
It's permanent too, so it's going to be there forever.
So there's a nice protective shield there over the trail. Excellent. Okay, and it stills. Eventually, it sort of stills. Really quiet. Okay. What are you guys going to do? You going to continue on now?
So the avalanche has already passed by. Everybody's safe?
It has passed by now, and everybody's safe. Oh, and I should clear the...
I had my shovel. I was going to scoop you out. Anywho, we're gonna keep going up the mountain.
Tally says,
Okay.
I don't know where that ice wall came from, but I'm sure glad it was there.
Mm-hmm. Learning.
Okay, I keep closing the turn tracker and it keeps
It
popping
doesn't
up
stay
again?
closed. Just minimize it.
Okay. Minimize. Sorry, I was distracted.
So, up the mountain!
Okay. So as you continue on up the mountain, you reach kind of a steep, snow-covered incline. At this point, you guys are all getting pretty tired. It is well after midnight, and you've been on the go since this morning. You reach a
assume-
snow... Go ahead.
Sorry, I was just going to say, I assume that it's been more than 8 hours since we left the road.
It is more than 8 hours since you left the road.
Okay.
Oh, right. Is okay, so so you reach the snow-covered incline. Actually, I don't have it. It's not here. Dotted with jagged rocks and lying face down in the snow is a humanoid in blood-stained cold weather clothing. Yeah, didn't help yourself, Junior.
Moving forward, is it obvious if it's a corpse or if this person is alive?
If you lean down to check, the person is just barely still alive.
Ah. Quick! He needs help!
And the dog reacts to this person and is snuffling all around the person and is absolutely delighted and relieved and licking the face of the person. And this is clearly the dog's person.
Oh.
So you see that this is a rugged, bearded man. You can't tell much other than, I mean, he's kind of covered with snow. He's kind of buried under all of his cold weather gear. You're gathering around him?
Yeah.
Yep.
To help him up and sit up and get him on his feet if needs be.
I'm gonna look to Pip. Pip!
Oh, yeah. I'm gonna crouch down and I'm gonna start casting a spell on him. I kind of start going my hands over him and growing a nice yellow. And I'm going to cast Cure Wounds.
And as a feeling of warmth and well-being kind of flows into him from your spell, he kind of stirs a little bit and sort of painfully kind of opens his eyes. Ooh, nice. Opens his eyes and is sort of looking at you. It's like, oh, I'm so glad to see somebody. Please, we need help. We need help. Boy, and the dog's all in his face. It's like, oh boy, I'm so glad to see you too. Are you okay? Are you okay? He starts trying to feel over the dog to see if the dog's okay.
Looking at the party, maybe we should make camp. We can set out our tents. The man can use mine, him and the dog, and we'll make a fire nearby to keep them warm. But I'm afraid what the journey down the mountain will do in their condition.
Indeed.
We were attacked. Our party was attacked. They're further up. We were
Shit.
attacked by a yeti. I came down the mountain to lure it away, and I think it followed me. I mean, it gashed at me. You can see my wounds here. It gashed at me, but I managed to. It stopped following me at some point, and I got this far. There's a place a little further up where it's a little easier to put a tent than right here on the ice shelf.
Well, I'm gonna kind of bend down and pick up the man and sling him over my shoulder, and then with my free arm, I'm gonna reach down and kind of try to scoop up the dog and carry them across my chest, and then supporting them both, I'm gonna look to the rest of the group. Up, let's go! And I start running up the mountain.
Okay, and are you all continuing on?
Yes, indeed.
Okay.
Yeah, those Yetis we don't like.
Let's see if I can. What layer am I on? I'm on the wrong layer. Let's see if I can move you guys a little bit. Oh, yeah, that's good. Okay, so as you head past, as the bulk of the party heads past, just as Tallies and Andwise are passing a crevice, there is a snarl, and each of you gets pounced upon.
I mean, oh no!
All right, so first one is going to be against Andwise, and the second one against Tali. Not that it matters, it's a 16 each way.
All right.
Ow.
Yep, 16 hits me too.
First one, second one. All right, so the cats are actually attacking the trailers of it. And we can roll some initiative.
No! Okay, here we go.
Although, I mean, if we roll initiative, it's kind of like, we're gonna...
Yep, Tallies is still like,
Is it
wait,
gonna
what?
Is it even gonna last an entire round? Oh.
Yeah. Cats are what? Third? Fourth?
This is your second time facing them, isn't it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Everybody's there.
I don't know if we fought crag cats yet.
Yeah, we fought 2 of them.
Oh, no, you're right.
Yeah,
You're
one
right.
of you
I
fought
remember.
one and the other one ran off. Yeah.
Yeah.
Andwise.
So, for the sake of this combat, are we assuming the map is to scale?
Yeah, let's assume that it's
Okay.
to scale. That's how far away you are from the cats attacking your trailing members.
All right. Well, that actually hurt, and I do not want to stay here to see what happens if he does that again. So I'm going to cast a cantrip. Bonus action, disengage, and hightail it over here next to Azatoth, where it's a little bit safer.
Your booming blade. When you have those spells on your sheet, on the front of your sheet, you'll see like oh, apparently I don't know what I'm talking about. There should be like a separate attack on your sheet because it didn't roll an attack. It just rolled the booming blade damage. But there should be something on your sheet that has a weapon attack plus the booming blade. You know what I mean? But I don't see it either. So maybe I'm crazy.
Well, it just says weapon attack.
No.
It's going to be a rapier.
Yeah, I see it. Because, like, my glaive... sorry to derail things. So, like, there's my glaive attack, and if I click it, there's my glaive. But then underneath it, on the bar on the right, is... there's a second button that if I click that, it's glaive plus green flame blade. And it's the same thing. So, like... It's hard. I can't click and show you a screenshot because it'll screw up the cameras. I'll show you after stream, man. I'm sorry. The real.
Okay.
That's
No,
all right.
that's fine. And this is difficult. This is difficult terrain. Do you have something to ignore difficult terrain on ice? So you might not be able to move quite that far. Okay. Oh, I should have looked at it. 6. Oh wait, that's not yours. 14. 14 is a hit. Yes, 14 is a hit. You did. Okay, so help me understand this here. We did 7 piercing,
He's standing next to Pip, so I get the sneak attack.
7 sneak attacks. So that's 14 and 1 more for thunder. So it's
No.
15.
One more
total?
for
No, it doesn't
Yes.
take booming blade until it moves.
It takes booming blade when it moves. Okay.
Yeah.
So it takes 14 now and then booming blade when it moves. So we have not had a boom go out in this icy land yet. Okay.
Nope,
Good to know.
not yet.
Good to know. Where's the button to turn the turn? I didn't do start either, did I?
You just cleared the order.
Okay. It was Endwise, who was immediately after that.
That's tough.
Azatoth,
And then it was me.
Pip, and then I think it was the cats after Pip. And
And I was
then
after the cats.
Landar, Tallies. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and Cairo was what was yours? Yours was an 18, so I think
It
yours was before Pip.
It was Cairo, then
No,
Tally.
it wasn't 11.
It was 11. So 11 came
Arrows were after Landor, then Tallis.
after Landar. Okay. All right. So we go to Azatoth. I'm going to do this the old-fashioned way. Okay, Azatoth.
Yeah. I'm carrying the dog and the dude, so I'm going to run away from the. Oof. I'm going to run away from the crag cats. Not taking a dash. So 15 feet up. I'm gonna set them down.
Okay.
And then I think, yes, I am going to, for lack of anything else I can do, I do have this as a bonus action. I'm going to throw a snowball at the wounded crag cat. Which,
Okay. That's a hit.
17 is a hit. For
Oops, I didn't mean to move him.
4
I meant to move
cold.
this.
Take that.
4 cold. Okay. This is an unhappy cat. Anything else, Azatoth?
No, that's literally it. That's all I got.
Pip.
3 charges.
That was the wrong one. I wanted to grab the ruler. I was trying to see how far away it was.
It's like it's about. It was adjacent to you because you were
It's still-
the. Yeah,
Okay.
we're
Yeah,
not
because
exactly on
you
the
gave me
square.
sneak attack.
Yeah, so you're adjacent to the crag cat.
I'm going to cast. Because I need to get out of here. I'm going to cast Color Spray, which is a 15-foot cone. So I'm just going to angle it so it only hits the bloodied crag cat. Bam. It didn't roll damage.
An array of flashing colored light, which is really good in this darkness. How many hit points of creatures it can affect? Affects 29 hit points of creatures. And it can only hit that one, and it does hit that one. Okay. blinded. Okay, yes, it is blinded.
Cool. Then, seeing that it's blinded, so I pull out this sand and I throw it in its face. And
Okay, with advantage because it can't see.
no, that's this.
Oh, that's the color, right.
I am then immediately going to run 15 feet this way. It would technically pose a opportunity.
Yes, which it is not going to take at the moment. It is snarling and unhappy, and it is going to focus also on Tallies. Okay, anything else, Pip?
And, nope, that is it.
Should I take it back? It is going to follow you. It is going. The wounded one is mad and is going to come after the people that hit it. So it is going to move up here, and it
Boom.
is boom, and it takes how much?
It was 1.
Yeah, you
Okay.
took that 1 damage.
All right. It is going to take that, and it is going to take out a slash. Let's see. Pip is out of the way. Yeah, it's going to go at Andwise. So let's do its attack, and the other one is going to continue to attack Tallies. So the first claw is against Andwise. The second one is a bite against Tallies.
The bite thankfully misses.
I suspect that claw hit Andwise.
It's blind though, right?
It
Yes,
is
it
blind.
is.
It has disadvantage. You are right. Thank you for the reminder. It is blind. Where is it? Roll that claw again. Still a 19, but it's
It
not a crit.
still hits, but it's not
Still
a
hits, but
crit.
it's not a crit. So it's only the 7 damage, not the 15.
Yeah, I was literally just about to say it.
Thank you for the reminder. I always need these reminders. Landar, you're up next.
All right. I don't like these cats too well, so I am going to, since I've got others in my way and I don't want to risk falling while we're up here, I'll throw out a chill touch at the wounded crag cat. I assume that misses.
Ten misses, yes.
All right, and then from where I'm at, I will try and move 15 feet up out the way and get away from these things. That's about 15.
That'll bring us to Tallies.
All right. Well, Tallies isn't really going to be able to outrun these things or anything. So what he's going to do is he is going to create a blade of fire. He's going to cast Shadow Blade. And he is going to go ahead. So that's his bonus action. For his action, he's just going to swipe it at the one here. So it still gets all the features of Shadow Blade. And since it's, nighttime, it's dark out. And so he's going to have advantage on his attack roll against the Cricket.
Yep. So give me an attack roll.
That's goofy. So your Shadow Blade is actually made of fire, but it doesn't emit light because the spell
But it
No, it
doesn't
does
emit
fire
light,
damage.
And
It
in
does
darkness,
fire
it has
damage.
advantage.
Well, but it's not flaming. It's, like a hot poker.
No, it's still emit light.
It's still a miss, though.
Ooh, yuck.
Unless
It
a 9's
is.
going to hit.
No, a 9 does not hit.
Okay, that's my turn.
Okay, brings us to Cairo.
Wasn't I after Andwise last time? Or I think I got skipped.
Yeah, we haven't gotten clear through the round yet. Cairo's,
Yeah.
and then it goes to Andwise after Cairo.
Oh, okay.
the crag cat in front of me.
Oh,
That is
you.
definitely a hit.
I
This
was
Craig
going
cat,
to do that.
this Craig cat is looking ripped up. I mean, that axe just comes right in at the shoulder and opens up a big gash in the thing, and it's not looking at all good.
Oh, but it's not
Anything
dead.
else, Cairo?
I think that's it.
Back to Andwise.
All right, not happy about that hit. I'm going to disengage. Move back to there. All right, one of these rocks that are off to the side over here.
Hearing you now.
All right, I'm gonna pick. Yep, I'm gonna pick up one of these rocks here.
Okay.
That's right in here.
Mhm.
And I'm basically gonna throw it straight from there at the crag cat, and possibly the crag cat on the other side.
What ability are you using to do this? Hmm.
I'm gonna use catapult.
Yeah. Go right between them. So essentially, is that going to? That's going to go a line through. So if it hits the first
Basically
one,
right
it does
there.
not go to the second. Remind me, if it
Correct.
hits the first one, it does not hit the second one. If
Correct.
the first
If-
one makes its deck save, then it does go to the second one.
Yes,
Right.
if the blinded one makes the deck save, it then
At
goes to the second.
disadvantage.
Would it, since it's blinded, doesn't it fail any saves that require sight?
Disadvantage.
Disadvantage, because it can hear it. It can feel the wish coming.
Paralyze. Fail. I'm getting confused
Yeah.
here.
It failed, so it hits it, and it is a bloody, splatty mess.
All right, it
Oh,
takes
check.
12 points of bludgeoning from the catapult.
That is an X cat. Yeah, it hits beautifully and smears the thing into the snow. Ugh.
And that will end my turn.
Okay, brings us to Azathoth.
Huh. He just shakes his fist. I was going to do that! And then I'm going to point and fire a Eldritch Blast at the second cat as I advance forward.
A dex check does not require sight. You can hear the thing coming at it. 13 will hit.
Cool.
And a blast comes out of force damage. Okay, that is a hit. And I'm not sure what's going on with my door. Okay,
Well, that's it.
anything else?
Nope.
Okay. Pip.
I'm going to pull out my crossbow and make an attack at the other one.
And the bolt just whizzes right by it and embeds itself in the snowbank.
And that's it for me.
Okay. It is the cat's turn. And the cat noticed that crossbow bolt going whizzing by it, and it goes after Cairo.
It's still adjacent to me there, all right, isn't it? Because we're...
It looks like
Yeah.
it's still adjacent, yes.
Okay.
So you do not get an opportunity attack. That's not the cat's. Here's the cat's sheet. And it comes up and it attempts to claw.
Yee.
17. I'm not at disadvantage. I need to put it back to normal. Does the 17 hit?
Me, yes.
So you take a nice slash across your cheek of 5 slashing damage. And that is all for the cat, which brings us to Landar.
And from where I'm at, I'll throw another chill touch.
Ooh.
That chill touch of necrotic, and you can just see part of the cat just sort of almost wither, right, as the necrotic energy sort of goes through it, and it peels a little bit, oof, and it's kind of gross. Anyways, anything else, Landar?
That's it.
Brings us to Tally's.
All right, so I'm envisioning the reason that I'm getting advantage with this flaming sword is that because obviously it's dark everywhere around, and I'm waving this blade of flame in its face, like really sort of rapidly. It's just that the difference between the light and the dark is just really off-putting for it to be able to see where an attack's really coming from, and so that's why it's probably hopefully a little easier to hit. And I'll try again.
That'll hit. That's going to do a nice chunk of damage, and you can hear the fur sizzling as it snarls out in pain.
All right, that will end Tally's turn.
Cairo. Cat in your face just slashed at you. Ooh, that one will miss. As the great axe swings through the air and comes right down along the side as the cat moves around it and snarls back. Anything else, Cairo?
Oh, just a minute. Hold on, let me see.
Otherwise, you will be up next again.
Alright, I cast that as a bonus action. We'll add that to my next melee attack, I believe.
Attack, yes. Okay. Anything? Let's see, a bonus action. And are you going to do any movement?
No, not at the moment.
Okay, handwise.
All right, same polite path as before. I saw the one go down. Let's see if we can knock the other one down.
Okay, catapult is a dex save. Man, for cats, these things are lousy at the dex saves. Oh, this thing is pretty well smeared, but is still moving just a little bit. It is still alive. Anything else, handwise?
I'm gonna come up here behind Lindar and bonus action hide.
Okay. Azatoth, you gonna finish this off here?
Hope so. 5, 10, 15. Yes, I can get close enough. And we can attack it with the glaive. So, yeah, that'll miss. But bonus action, we'll attack it with the butt. Hey! Hey! Is that enough?
And you crack it across the skull, and it collapses.
I know nobody's keeping score, but that puts me in the lead again.
And do I start immediately laughing at that?
Well,
Okay.
I'm just glad somebody killed it before it turned around and started raking me again. I say with a bloody gouge across my chest.
Oh.
And you're hearing a little bit of a rumble.
Oh no. I'm gonna look up.
You don't see it moving yet, but there's a few little rocks going down. The
Run!
hillside is quite
Quick!
unstable after that booming blade.
What have you
I love it
done?
when people do sharp noises in an unstable, snowy environment.
I'm going to quickly run and grab onto the rope.
Same here.
Yep.
I'm going
If everybody
to
stays good.
I'm going to run and grab the man and the dog.
Yeah, and Landar's going to yell out. He's like, "Stay close together," and he will prepare to do what he did before and shield us again.
Okay. This one is a lot smaller than the last one because a fair amount of the instability has already sort of resolved itself out in the last avalanche. So there's not a lot of snow this time as it comes down, and you guys now know what you're doing and are well prepared for it as the snow comes down. And it's kind of pathetic for an avalanche after the mighty roar of that last one. But you are very glad to be huddled together with the shield sheltering it over and feeling much safer as this goes down. And as the sound subsides and it becomes quiet again. And you hear a voice say, "I don't suppose you want a job with the expeditions."
Look around for the source of the voice.
Well, it's the guy.
Oh,
So a random Yeti turns up behind us. You want a job?
he looks like Beast from the X-Men. He's wearing glasses. So,
Oh.
are you interested in seeking employment?
Yeah, like we could use you on mountain treks. I suppose I should introduce myself. I'm Garret. I'm an expedition leader, and the party I was with. I told you that we were attacked. Can we continue up? Can we go and look for the party members that were with me?
Oh, of course.
I mean, there's Mokingo for a minute there, and he gestures at Azathoth. For a minute there, I thought you were Mokingo, but no, his hair color is different from yours.
A Goliath? One of your party members
Yes,
was a Goliath.
yes, and there was a halfling, and very much like you, gesturing over at Andwise, and then there was a tiefling. For an instant, I thought you were my party members, but you're clearly not.
I look around. Cairo doesn't look like a tiefling.
Well, yes, yes, that's true. I would like to go and find them and see if I lured the Yeti off, and I hope that he stayed off of them.
Well, Kalmanao Makanath. Let us go. We must find this one's friends.
And
I'm
so
gonna
as you
look
can,
down at the wounds on my chest and say kind of loudly, I hope his halfling's in better shape than I am.
I hope so. I very much hope so.
I'm going to reach in my pack and drop a small reddish potion onto the snow. I'd imagine it would stand out quite well against the stark white, you know. Like, here, just pick that up as we go. Let's move. As I deposit my healing potion for him to use.
I'm actually going to drink mine as well, as we're moving along.
Healing potion.
And you get up to an area where you're having to zigzag back and forth across the ice face, and there's narrow ledges that you can do. I am going to need some athletics checks
Ha ha!
as we work our way across. Azathoth makes it look easy as he gets across the line. Yeah.
Exceedingly easily, as remember, I am carrying both an injured man and the dog.
Will acrobatics also work? Or does it
I've
have
got
to be
one on my shoulder, I've got the other one like a football. I'm just smiling as I run.
This is taking strength to, you've got the ropes to help you and all, which lowers the DC enough. But this is taking strength to get around this very steep area and climbing across. I've got, oh dear, Cairo kind of falls, but so far everybody else is looking good. And so as a group, I assume we can catch Cairo and stabilize him again. Okay. Although, Cairo, you do, in the course of this, with your friends helping out, you do manage to get safely over, but you're taking a level of exhaustion.
Ouch.
Okay, and up ahead, on your left, there is a 15-foot high and 10-foot wide cave mouth with blood on the snow some distance from the cave entrance. And Garret says, yes, this is where we were ambushed by the Yeti. That's, oh dear. This doesn't look good. I mean, it lunged at me and bit into my shoulder and tore me up, as you could see.
I will
I don't know. I want
put
to
them
look at.
down and pull out my glaive. So, who wants to watch them while the rest of us go in the cave?
We're all just blankly looking at each other.
Yeah, I don't know about splitting up.
Well, we can't take them in the
Especially-
cave. They'll slow us down. And as much as I'd like to help this one and potentially seek employment with his group, it makes no sense to risk all of our lives because he is wounded.
I mean, maybe they can hide out by the entrance, and we can go in and clear it out.
Hey, can you do that trick where you made the shelf?
I can form a somewhat of a barrier around
How
them
about like a
to
tube?
protect them.
Can we make like a tube and hide them in it?
Can, and possibly an igloo.
Yeah, maybe that'll work. A little cave of their own.
Right.
Actually, can we can it be like a little pocket? Something to keep them safe. Saying that, he reaches into his own pocket and he pulls out the button.
Yeah,
Why don't we
just-
use this? And do we just throw it on the ground or
Okay, I want to check here. Can you guys now see the part of the map with a cave entrance?
No,
yes?
Nope.
It's over here.
it's all black.
Shift ping.
Over to the left. Yeah, shift ping.
Yeah, it's still just all
You're
black.
because you're in the wall.
Oh,
guess-
I have you in the wrong place. How about this?
I think maybe
Nope.
Tally's is as well, unless it's a lighting thing.
Oh, maybe it is a lighting thing. I don't have dark vision.
Someone light a torch.
Tally's a lighter torch.
Wow, I can see it now.
Woo.
Okay.
That was me. I put it on daily.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, so what you are seeing here, it opens up. It's a fairly large, fairly high roof, but it kind of looks like over here the floor has fallen away, but there's a big oh, you guys can't see the chasm because of the line of sight stuff. Yes, you can see the chasm. You can see a chasm here?
Yeah.
I can see a chasm here, yeah.
Okay. Okay, good. Making sure the line of sight stuff's set up right. So there's this big chasm, there's a stone bridge over here and kind of an ice bridge over here.
Well, I mean, if we're going as usual, I guess Azathoth, if you lead the way.
You see he just keeps tapping himself as he mutters this small incantation. Ah, there we go, 8. Oh no, I went past it though. Well, I just like stupid. Do I actually need to keep doing this? Yeah, eventually, hey, 8. There we go.
Why'd you roll so many 7s and 5s?
I don't know. Well, you know, it's not. It's a D4 plus 4.
Yeah, so there's only 4 possible
Yeah,
results.
but I want 8. All right, what was the question?
Are
Need
you
to
going
pick
to
a
lead the
path.
group in?
No, I was doing something. I was using the button to make a tiny hut to keep the dog and the man in, and I didn't know
Right.
how to use the button. I just kind of take it out and wiggle it around. Did it work?
It worked.
Oh, okay. Then yes, I will
There's
lead
a
the
little
way.
hut. All right, so you have sort of an ice shelf going across here, and you have a stone bridge going across here.
Yeah. I'm a Goliath. I'm gonna go on the way that looks very sturdy, and head for the stone bridge.
Is it all ice in here?
Yeah,
Or
go
is
ahead.
it like snow?
That's a good question. Is it difficult terrain moving through here?
It is kind of packed ice in here. This is actually ice. This is more packed snow on top of stone. So
Isn't
it's not that slippery. This is very slippery. This is not that slippery, especially
Isn't
where you
this
guys
where
have
we
with your
have
cold, with your gear, your footing gear.
crampons?
Yeah.
Put
Yeah, I would
crampons.
say, given the fact that we've just been climbing up the side of the mountain, we're probably wearing crampons right now.
Yeah. With our booties, we're fine.
Yeah. And as you come across here, kind of into, you're seeing bones strewn about with bits of flesh still clinging to it.
Just gripping my glaive. I'm ready for
Yeah,
it.
and it's the blood that shows around there is turning brown, but it's not very old. You get further, you even see a head that appears to have been ripped off of shoulders and gnawed at, and it's stuffed into a niche in the wall looking out at you, the face of a Goliath.
I'm gonna load my crossbow.
As,
Just shaking from
And as you get
cold.
further on, there's other niches in the walls that have the heads of other creatures, most of them much older.
That's grisly. Does that seem like Yeti behavior to you? To mount trophies? Seems like they'd be more of the, just eat and... Anyway. Let's continue.
Well, yeah, the last cave we were in, there was just bones and everything strewn everywhere. There was no sign of any trophies.
Right. As we kind of walk through here, I'm gonna, like, just kind of poke at the stuff on the ground with the tip of my glaive. Just kind of knocking it around. Make sure that there's nothing, interesting or important laying down there.
Interesting that you should say that, because you do catch something that's a glint, that's a brighter red than the drying blood.
Oh. Well, let's reach down and pick that up.
On us. There we go. And you find there a ruby gem.
Ah, very nice. We'll just stick that in the pack for now. Because no time for treasure. We're in a dangerous cave. Okay. And we're going to continue.
Shield over against the wall too, kind of up here as you're coming around the corner. And up here, these are very clearly, this is a fairly steep, there's about a 5-foot incline
You said it's
as you
up
come
around the
around the
corner?
corner there. Yeah.
Well, I'm going to move towards it and then stop. What's that?
A Yeti child that appears to be playing with well, it's hard to tell. It could be a bundle of clothing. It could be, but the Yeti, the young Yeti is playing around with it and batting it around, and then you see it kind of move a little on itself, and this is starting to look like, a predator with prey, like a cat playing with a small rodent or something. Except this is a larger than a small rodent.
And it hasn't noticed us. We're walking forward. And it's still playing with
The
its...
Yeti has not noticed you yet. No.
Cool. I'm going to raise my glaive, holding it outward, long ways, pointing it towards it, as I then fire a beam of energy towards the baby Yeti. Pow! Oh, man.
But the Yeti starts shrieking, and there's a roar as a mama Yeti starts coming around the corner
my
here.
God.
Let's roll some initiative.
Why is it so big?
Because it's a Yeti.
It's the mama. Didn't you hear? Oh man, our initiatives. 5, 4, 9, 2, 7.
Nobody rolled over 10. Oh, God. The Yeti rolled a 2.
Oh, that's not that bad.
Yeah. No. Somehow it's still last.
Okay, so the baby Yeti shrieked and started running towards Mama, and Mama roared and started coming out to look and see what's going on. Do I have everybody? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have everybody handwise.
I'm gonna move over there behind as a top, because hey, big meaty shields are better than me getting hit. And I'm going to take a shot at it.
Baby or at the mama?
At the mama.
At the mama. Actually, that does still hit the mama.
Really?
Yeah, it does. Let's see, you don't have advantage. You don't have an ally, compatible ally next to it, so it takes 8. Okay.
I'm gonna come back here because it's nice back here. And that'll end my turn.
Safe.
Brings us to tallies.
Okay. Well, so we'll go. Oof. It's not great. Let's see. Yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and throw out a. Actually, how far away is it? 25. What's the lighting like in this cave? I mean, I can't imagine there's a whole lot of lighting, right?
The light is what you guys brought in with you.
Okay, I'm gonna cast another flaming sword. So I cast Shadow Blade again.
You're a monster. Here you go,
Actually, I
guys.
have an attack. So I can throw it at as a range attack. It's long range, but obviously being in dim light, so it should just be a straight attack.
Yes, it should. And that's against the mother or the baby?
Sorry, that's against the mother.
That's a miss.
Okay. Following that, I'll step back here. And that'll end my turn.
Brings us to Azathoth.
Okay. So I'm going to step forward, stopping here since I can hit it with reach with my glaive. And I'm just going to attack it twice and try to kind of block the passage so that it can't really get to the rest of the party. So here we go. Attack number 1. Yeah. Ooh.
Ooh-wee.
Yeah, that's nice. That's nice. So,
Let it hit, yeah.
hit for 11, and then bonus action come up. Oh no, the bonus action is. I never realized that the bonus action only has a reach of 5 feet. That's goofy. Sure, why not? I think if we go here, it's still all the same. So we're gonna bat it. No, we're not.
Nope.
All right, all done.
You snag it onto the rock wall there next to you. Pip.
I'm gonna move a step up, and in a panic, I'm gonna shoot the Yeti, Tyke. With the crossbow.
Kill the baby.
That is a solid hit as a bolt. Let's see, crossbow. Yeah, as a bolt sunks into the baby that squeals. Takes a significant amount of damage.
And then, I'm going to give Bardic Inspiration to Azathoth.
Oh, thanks, buddy.
Landar.
All right, coming around the corner and see, getting up to here, and coming at the Yeti with the short sword, and then a bonus action for an unarmed strike.
Is a hit. That is a miss.
That's upset because we attacked the baby. It's a monster. It's literally eating somebody, like, right now.
You don't see any blood around.
And that's it.
Okay, Cairo.
All right, so we're in the ice cave.
What?
Just give me a minute. Okay, I think that's about as far as I can move.
So are you going
You
to
don't
dash,
quite
or-
have.
What now?
You don't. Yeah, you don't have line of sight.
All right. That's as far as I can move this turn.
Are you going to dash, or, I mean, what are you doing?
Yeah, I think I might dash then. All right,
Step
that's my
into it.
turn.
Okay. And the Yeti Tyke is scampering away and running and climbing up on Mama's back. If I Get it on top of Mama. There, we can get it on top of Mama. On Mama's back. Mama,
Please be gentle.
a glare at Azatoth.
Mhm.
Give me a con save.
Oh, what? Okay, con save. Hey.
Okay, you make the con save. So you do not take the cold damage from that. And then there is one claw attack against Azatoth and one claw attack against Landar.
Do it.
So the first one was Azatoth, the second was Landar, and then it backs away with the type.
You have to roll the damage.
Yep.
Did they both hit or just one? It does not have advantage, but I
I
assume
got hit with the
22 hits.
22.
I got
Is
hit
it
with a 16.
All right. There's the 16. Okay. And after their turn, this
wait.
it turns out to
It
be a
moved away from
halfling
me. I
person.
get to take an op attack?
Yes, you can take an op attack.
Oh.
All right, I'll swing at it too.
Okay. That hits. 7 damage. Okay, Mama's not looking too good. Okay, and after their turn, this sort of scuttles over to the wall, and over by the wall, it turns out there are some other piles and things cluttered around over there. She kind of ducks into there. Alrighty, so that brings us back to Endwise.
All right, 20 feet moves me to there. And I'm going to take a shot at the mother.
And it goes skittering past and chunking into the wall over here.
All right, that will finish my turn.
Please.
Okay, let's see what's going on. I no longer see any enemies. So 10. Okay, I'm gonna do something, I guess, a little bit dangerous. So that's 10. So that should be 25. I'm going to drop concentration on my Shadow Blade as I basically just kind of slam a fist into the ground. And as I do, columns of flame seem to just roar up out of the ground, shooting forward in a line that's going to encompass both the Yeti and the Yeti tyke. As I use a Tasha's Caustic Brew that will deal fire damage.
Death saves or be washed in fire. All
Yep.
right. Doesn't apply to this. And let's get the type. Dex save. They both fail.
All right, so they'll both
So
take 6 points of fire damage, and the start of each of the... Oh, no, sorry. They don't take any damage now, but at the start of their turns, they will take 6 damage, and then I'll roll the damage again each turn.
That means I can take the kill from you. Haha! I mean,
And then I've got 5 feet left, so I'll move to there to try and get out of the way.
All right. Azatoth.
Alright. So, I'm going
This over here, by the way, is a 10-foot drop down.
I'm going to step forward. just to there, because that's close enough. I will use a bonus action, and for the second time, everyone will kind of see Azatoth's face become more gaunt, almost resembling more corpse-like, his eyes kind of sink back as he takes on this horrific form, and as I... Thanks, Beyond 20. That was super helpful.
Very informative, yes.
I gain 9 temporary hit points. And I'm going to attack it. If I hit it, then it'll have to make a save or be frightened. So here we go. Come on, baby. Don't feel me now. Yeah. Oh, is 11 a hit?
It's not a hit on the mama.
No. Oh wait, I have Bardic Inspiration. Sorry, damn it. I already asked you. All right.
Oh, I'll give it to you.
Yeah, I forgot that's what the purple dot was.
I'll give it to you.
Is 12
Oh.
a hit?
I have enough. Yes, 12 is a hit.
Oh shit, then why'd you make me roll? Alright, well, haha! I hit Mom for 11 slashing. And
But 11's not looking good, and she has to make a roll against
wisdom. She has to make a wisdom save, or she is frightened.
She is frightened.
That is a fail.
She is terrified of you.
That's right. Better be. I am done.
Right. Terrified of you, yeah. Pip.
I'm going to poke around the corner and fire another bolt at it. Haha.
It's a hit at the mother.
Yes.
And that sunks in solidly.
That is it.
Hey, Landar.
All right, getting up close. Right over here. And slashing at the mother. Assuming it's the mother.
And that will hit the mother. A nice slash into her, and she falls dead. She falls to the ground at your feet.
And is the baby still there?
The baby's still there.
Can I
Baby
reach
is
it?
squalling and panicking.
Oh no, you're gonna kick it.
Yep,
Spartan
unarmed
kick it
strike
off
it.
the ledge.
Oh, I missed.
I mean, it's
You
covered in
didn't take
fire
in
as
the.
well.
You did not take into account the slippery terrain under your feet, and you just practically kicked your own ankle.
Ouch. All right, that's it.
Okay. Cairo. Have a squalling baby yeti in front of you and a dead mama.
Is he there?
Williamson? You have a squalling baby yeti and a dead mama in front of you. What are you going to do?
I'm going to go out on a limb and assume our policy towards baby yetis is the same as it was last time.
So far.
Of course.
All
It is a
right.
threat to Icewind Dale to leave alone.
Oh
I'm sorry,
my.
little one.
And you cut the baby Yeti in half and it stops squalling. Can you do anything else?
Nope.
Okay, and as those fall, you notice another bellowing sound out from the direction you came. And Pip, I believe that's within line of sight for you.
Uh-oh.
You see a Yeti carrying a dead goat.
Guys!
Yes?
Comes barreling up to there, and we come back to Andwise.
All right, hearing Pip yell, I'm gonna start creeping back that way. And I can see him, so I'm going to take the shot. And then I'll move back that way. Pip can block for me.
Dead goat here. And you took the shot. Oh, yeah, that's quite a shot. Let's see here. It's off. Come on, give me your hit points. Okay. Anything else?
Nope, that will finish my turn.
Tallies.
All right. Well, so I guess the Yeti comes around the corner, and then the two dead Yetis suddenly, bit of flame goes off and burns their corpses. And Tally's starts making his way around here. He'll head around to here. He can't really see anything, and he doesn't want to be stuck in anybody else's way, so he will move back there and take the dodge action for this turn.
It's a toss.
All right. Everybody's moving in my way. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 there. Moving diagonal that way instead of like that, like I marked it because I'm dummy.
Yep.
So moving here. Oh no, that is a big goat. Why has the Yeti hurt the goat? Let me read this. When you hit a
Yeti wanted to
creature,
feed his family.
when you hit a creature with an attack, so it doesn't need to be a weapon attack. So yeah, we're going to throw an Eldritch Blast at the Yeti that is now approaching. 19.
Oh, that's a hit.
All right, he takes 6 and needs to make a Wisdom save or be frightened.
Make a wisdom save.
Fail.
He is frightened.
Hey, that's pretty good. All right, that's it. I'll end my turn.
Okay. Which brings us to Pip.
For right now, I am just going to fire another crossbow bolt at it.
It's a miss. It goes skittering off onto the bridge at his feet.
Well, I am going to start moving this way. And that is it.
Landar, you heard a bellow and you are hearing your friends.
All right. Landar is going to move through. So see Yeti. So I will launch a. Where's that? A chill touch at it. 9 miss.
That will miss. Your chill touch disperses into some of the snow. Anything else?
That is it.
Cairo. Listen.
Okay, that's as far as I think I can move. And I can't see anything from here, so I guess it's my turn.
And the Yeti is afraid and cannot move closer, and it is going to drop the goat. And let's see here. Okay, it's going to be its turn. And twice.
Oh, that range is disadvantage, isn't it?
For what?
Nope. 30 to 120. I might take a crossbolt shot.
Okay, so that is at disadvantage because that's more than 30. Yeah, and you could. It's got partial cover too.
That's a pretty good.
Even with partial cover, that yeah, that hits. Even with disadvantage and partial cover, that hits. So that's 8.
All right, I'm gonna look up at Acetoth and smirk and stay right here. Finish my turn.
Tallies.
Okay, let's see what we've got. All right, so from here I can just about see it. Wait, actually, let's just check the range real quick. So technically speaking, it's still just in the range of the torch that I'd be carrying, because otherwise, if it's total darkness, I wouldn't really be able to see it. But it seems to be just in the range. So I'm going to go ahead and throw a firebolt at it.
You are. And that hits even with partial cover. Okay.
And that will end Tally's turn.
Azatoth.
So we're gonna run forward 25, 30, and 15.
And it very much bellowed at that.
Yeah. Hi. It is no longer afraid after it would have ended its turn, by the way. But
Okay.
I'm sorry, it's frightened until the end of my next turn, not its next turn. So
Okay. So it is still afraid right now.
Yep. And then I'm gonna shoot another Eldritch Blast. At which point I hit it for a whopping 1 damage, but it needs to make another save, or it's frightened until the end of my next turn again. DC is 14, by the way.
Okay, so it's still afraid.
I'm just gonna chase this thing out of its own home. Ah!
You get out of here, you!
You go on! Get! I'm done.
Brings us to Pit.
I'm going to peek around the corner, and I still can't see it. So I am going to Cure wounds. Cast cure wounds on Landar. Using the staff.
And are you going to do anything else as well?
No, I'm gonna just move out of the way.
Landar, a feeling of warmth and well-being washes over you as you. Yeah, look at me. I own this game. Yeah, pretty much. Especially with this dreadful appearance. Yeah. So, Landar, a wash of good feeling washes over you.
Yeah, I feel very energized, and I will start taking off. And let's see, gets me there. Well, actually, I can go a little bit further because I have 40 feet of movement.
Is that what your movement was?
Yep. Then I will actually use a bonus action to step of the wind and go another 40 feet
Okay. You're going to have
to
some
here.
difficulty. Yeah, you can get there.
Okay. And then I'll use my short sword to slash at the Yeti.
That is a miss.
And that's it.
Okay. Cairo.
I don't see anything I can kill out here. I guess that'll be my turn.
Okay. And the Yeti dashes away. It has a 40-foot movement, so it moves 80 feet. Are you
Ooh.
guys going to pursue out of the pursue? And it actually also has climbing, so it disappears out.
Can I take the op
Runs
attack
into
before it runs
the-
off?
Huh?
Can I take
You
the
may
op
take an
attack
op
before?
attack. Yes, you absolutely can take an op attack.
You pull out
15
some
hits for 8.
Blade Singer shit. Trip it.
It is leaving a trail of blood. How aggressively are you guys going to chase after this thing?
Me personally, I'm not interested. If the threat is passed, then we can concentrate on getting the survivors out of here.
Agreed.
We should
Anybody else
probably.
agree too? Is anybody else going to go chasing after the thing?
No. Tallies would probably suggest that we make sure that this cave's clear in case there are any other survivors or anything
Yes,
like that
there
around.
was that other thing back there. Also, gathering some of their personal effects to give to their families would be ideal. I'm sure our friend out there in the hut would like something to have to put in his friend's casket.
Didn't I hear there was like some sort of shield as we were going through here?
Oh, there is a shield along the wall here. There are some piles there was a pile of things here too that this person scuttled over to.
I thought there was another person. We should probably investigate that.
So as you start coming around the corner into there, she kind of scuttles back until she sees that you are not the Yetis. And she kind of sits up, and she is a halfling. Looking kind of traumatized, but other than some bruises and scrapes, she's looking okay.
Were you
So, sorry, go
Other
ahead.
than very frightened.
were you brought here by the Yetis? You were friends with, and I point to the decapitated head of the Goliath.
Yes, he ripped him apart right in front of me. I I was sure they were going to kill me too, but he was just playing with me. It might have ripped me apart at some point, but
Pip,
thank you for coming and taking care of that. I'm so grateful. I don't know what happened to Asterix though. Where have you seen Asterix? Have you seen Garret? Have you seen anyone?
Garret is outside. He is in a safe area. Uh, maybe one of my friends here will take you to him. And as I say this, I'm looking directly at Pip.
Oh, I'll go over and kind of grab
Okay.
her and start walking her out.
And she starts digging around. Before she does that, she kind of digs around in the stuff that's there and pulls out a pack. If you look at it, this looks like what she's digging under is kind of a shattered dog sled, but she's pulling a pack out from it, and then there is still some other clothing and things there. The shield, though, right next to Azathoth, actually is in good condition and looks really sturdy. It actually looks good quality, unlike most of the trash in here, the debris and wrecked goods in here.
So
You said Garret is here?
yes.
And she kind of looks around past you.
Yeah, just follow me.
And she does follow you. You find Garret inside the hut with his dog Boy kind of huddled up in the back, and they kept it as close as they could, and they kept very quiet, and they heard the bellowing of the Yeti, and they was just sort of sitting with his eyes tightly closed, holding onto his dog. And as you poke your head in the door, he kind of peeks an eye. Is it safe? Is it over?
We think so.
Thank goodness. Did you find anyone? Is there anyone in there? And the woman comes up and it's like, oh, Garret, it ripped it ripped him to pieces. I mean, it just took him apart right in front of me. And he's trying to calm. It ripped who apart? It was Makingo. It ripped Makingo just apart. And there's and it was playing. And she's just going on in gibbering into incoherence as he looks up and thank you. Where's, and he says to her, where's Asterix? I don't know where Asterix is. I didn't know where you were either.
Well, the rest of the group is still looking around inside, so maybe he's in there.
Maybe all
I'm
your
just gonna-
friends aren't dead.
I'm just gonna kind of take a couple steps back and let them do what they need.
Oof. Not good with delivering the bad news, huh?
So who else is looking around in the cave?
So Azathoth will sling the shield over his back, since we
Okay.
don't really have time to don it or to examine much. Just kind of start pointing, start grabbing shit and hauling it out.
Yep. So as noted in chat, Tallies starts looking around, investigating the area, seeing what he can find. Also looking. One thing that he's kind of looking for is other signs of abnormal intelligence from these yetis, since like they found like a head mounted somewhere, which is really
There are
unusual.
multiple heads. There are multiple heads kind of in crude niches along the wall, yes.
Okay, so part of what he's going to do is he's investigating the area. He's kind of also just going to have his book out, and he's just going to be writing notes about and even making small sketches of like these heads in the wall, the way they've placed them and how they've placed them, and various things like that. Just yeah.
So while he's looking at that, I'll be looking again more specifically for objects and items, things to take with us that would be helpful or useful, so just always
Among the
survival oriented,
right.
coins, things that would be of value that we could trade for needed items, or any items that would be useful on their own. Nothing goes to
There
waste.
there are a few miscellaneous items. There's a bent mess kit. There is various pieces of bloodied clothing that you could get a fair amount of cloth out of that could be useful. You don't see anything in the way of coins. You don't know what was in the pack that the woman took. It looked somewhat torn and battered, but it looked somewhat intact.
Make a note to
You do
ask
see
her about it.
other bones. You do find another niche with a head in it. There does not seem to be anything else of value. The most intact thing in the place was that shield.
Well, we have
And
the
the
shield.
only thing the only shiny thing was that ruby.
Yeah, we have the shield. We have the ruby. I'm gonna take the mess kit because I discovered I didn't have a knife. Now I have a steak knife.
It's a bit bent, but a tin mess kit can be pounded back into shape easily
Exactly.
enough. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. I guess that's.
So is there anybody checking out over here? There's a 10-foot drop down over here, or are they checking?
Yep, I'm over there investigating.
Okay. It's your token underneath. There's your token. I see your token. Okay, so it's a pretty sheer drop down. Are you going to attempt to drop yourself down it?
I'm gonna fasten one end of my rope to the Yeti and then climb down.
You are certainly light enough weight, and that Yeti is certainly heavy enough that yeah, it's not gonna slide. It's not that icy that it would just slide off with you. So yes, you are able to climb down.
And I'm gonna use Mage Hand to hold my hooded lantern out in front of me to see basically where I'm going.
Okay. Five feet up, this goes 10 feet down. So this goes, so as you come down here, this that you can see here is an incline going up about 5 feet.
All right, I'm gonna start heading off in that direction. Do I see anything else down here in this drop area?
There's less of the clutter and detritus. It doesn't look like the Yetis came through here particularly often. And this is very slick. If you go across this, I'm going to need probably a dex. Acrobatics would work.
After Moo, you sort of, doing the sketches and making notes, Tallies is actually really fast at making notes. As I mentioned, because of his linguist thing, he writes in a cipher that is much more efficient than using the standard language, as everything is basically kind of a shorthand. So once he's done that, he's going to start moving and trying to explore more of the cave, knowing that Anwise is already going down there. He's pretty confident that it's going to be relatively safe if he's around. If anything, dangerous pops up, he's likely to be aware of it. So he's gonna use the rope, but not being as confident at climbing and acrobatics and whatnot as characters like Anwise and most of the rest of the party. He's going to do the whole thing where he lies down on the ground and then just kind of dangles his legs over and then starts slowly moving the rest of him as he's kind of hangs down using the rope and then just tries to sort of sidle down the rest of the way. And then once he gets down here, he's going to continue to sort of look about for more signs of intelligence and anything. Basically anything out of the ordinary, anything interesting.
Forgot to show you the picture of Daddy.
I'm right here.
Yeah, other Daddy Yeti.
Oh.
Did I successfully show it to players?
Yes, you did.
Okay.
Dude's a beast.
We have this pretty artwork. We might as well use it. It does not show the goat, I noticed, though.
No,
Yeah, it does look under his arm.
Does it? Oh.
I
Did I miss that? I missed that.
Yeah, it's under his arm.
So, walking, having explored everything I was looking for, I'm gonna walk back out to where Perilu and Garret are hanging out
Garret.
in the tiny hut, and be like, "So, what's in the pack? It must be important that you as you fled from the Yeti's attacks, you made sure to keep it with you."
It's my basic gear. It has my cold weather gear and my tools and basic equipment. Don't you carry a pack? You look like you carry a pack.
I was just curious, is all. Your friend here, and I point to Garret, says that there's potential we become partners.
Just a customer. I was part of the group that hired him to lead us up here. I don't think I will be using his services again.
That's
I
understandable.
mean, no offense, of course.
However, whether or not you employ Mr. Garret, my friends and I are the ones that rescued you. And we've not been hired to do so, and it would be worth some level of compensation, wouldn't you agree? I mean, we've spent a great deal of resources I would like to see replenished. You broke up. I didn't hear you.
You can have my pack.
Does she, offer it?
Yes, she does.
I'm gonna look inside. What's in here?
It's a standard explorer's pack.
This is all quite useful.
The gear inside of it is reasonably new. You know how you get people who will buy new equipment to go off on a nice adventure trip.
Well, again, being very much concerned with our survival here in the cold and mountain, I am going to take her explorer's pack. This should do quite well, thank you. I'm gonna stuff her explorer's pack inside my explorer's pack.
Tallies, give me a acrobatics or dex check with advantage.
With advantage for the crampons? Oh, okay.
Uh-oh.
Just don't get a double nat one, okay?
Do it.
I mean,
She's not the boss of you.
We'll see what happens. Like I said, I'm the nerd in a party of pro athletes, so we'll see what happens.
But you're walking with caution. Yeah, you're fine.
I'm still going to go back the other way so I can get my rope off the Yeti's leg.
Okay.
And then run back around and join the group.
Okay.
And is that for crossing this ice barrier here?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, the ice bridge there. Yes. That gets you across. Okay. And so after having a whispered conversation with the woman, Garret turns with Perilu. Garret turns and can we continue on a ways and see if we can find Asterix? I mean, even if she's dead, I would like to know what happened to her.
Now, what?
I mean, I don't have anything else here to pay you with, but
can we have your word that we'll be compensated fairly once we return to town? I mean, we didn't even intend to come this way. And now we've wasted one magical resources to keep you safe while we tried to check on the well-being of your friends, as well as the actual gear that has been lost and worn as we mount this expedition. I, by all means, would like to see your friends to safety, but as I spoke with Miss Perilou, my friends and I require compensation.
Didn't mind.
I'm going to turn to the rest of the group.
Tully says, well, I mean, if you happen to know any practitioners of the arcane arts, any wizards or scholars that might be able to give some information, I mean,
Trix is a
that'd be
wizard.
fine for... Oh, really?
Yes, she's a wizard.
Tully's moves back into the cave and starts fervently searching for
Up.
signs of...
Hold. Tale doesn't speak for the rest of us, although his academic interests may be fulfilling enough for him. Again, I am interested only in the survival of my group. If we are not compensated fairly in coin, then I can't say that this endeavor would be worthwhile.
Oh, I like some flowers, like the pretty
Quiet,
blue ones that can grow up.
How about this?
I'm just gonna kind of slink back.
You run this company, right? And we can negotiate contracts for our employment later. But what is your standard rate? If Miss Perilou, what did you hire them for?
10 gold pieces to come on this adventure. We were coming up the mountain to see the sights, and we were looking for the is it okay to say? And he gives sort of a startled look, and he shrugs and says, well, Malkenko didn't mind. He's like, well, there's tales of a Goliath werewolf that we were hoping to see.
What?
Werewolf?
I'm sorry. What did you say?
There's stories of a Goliath werewolf, and we didn't believe in it, and we thought it would be a lark to come up on the mountain and say, yeah, we went up and looked for the Goliath werewolf. I mean, Makingo didn't mind when we said that. He scoffed at it, but thought, yeah, a few days jaunt up the mountain would be fun. We didn't. I mean, we might not have met a werewolf, but we met a yeti.
Well, it sounds like Makinko was a Thalval idiot. I know better than to dismiss superstition. You will pay us 10 gold per piece. And then I would like to see this werewolf. How is that? That should be fair compensation. If that's what you would charge, that's what we will charge. 10 gold pieces for me and each of my friends, and we will continue to find your missing wizard.
So is that a no for the flowers?
You can use your gold pieces to buy flowers, Pip.
I can't buy any flowers. I gotta find them.
Hey, look, there's one.
Okay, and the two in the cave are
Where?
not finding any trace of a wizard or wizard tools or anything.
I'm not gonna lie, unless we get stopped, like Tally's is gonna be here for at least an hour.
And you've had no sleep. It is now dawn has risen, which means it's mid-morning.
With the promise of potential like arcane information, Tally's is reinvigorated, and he is searching. The idea of being tired just doesn't matter to him at all.
Well, so
he may potentially face exhaustion, but he's gonna soldier on.
And with the
Until he
fun that
finishes
Eliza's
every
had
spell.
You
casting
mentioned-
spells, With the fun Andwise has had casting spells today, he is also invigorated and finding any sign of Asterix at all, or magical items.
Okay. So Perry says, "Well, I ran into the cave. I was going to hide because the original attack was outside. I don't think Asterix came in to the cave.
So where is she
Why didn't you
then?
say this before?
I didn't know what. I'm sorry.
It's okay. Where did you last see Asterix? And where do you think they may have gone?
Wait,
Well,
and I
I
follow
mean, the
the blood
original
trail
attack
that the
was-
Yeti left. If he
the
retreated
original
from
attack.
us, maybe there's a secondary cave system.
So the original attack was here, and you can see the scuffs and the old blood and stuff because this happened long enough ago that the dog was able to run looking for help and found you guys. So Garret ran this way, Perilou ran this way.
Yep, Asterix. Tally starts walking up this way and is looking for signs.
Okay, so I'm going to move you guys back over to the main mountain map. Let's get you guys over here and let's pick up Cairo. There we go. Do I have everybody? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I have everybody. All right. How are we doing time-wise? We're doing okay. All right. So that was, where did I do with the party token? Here was the party token. Oh, fuck.
There it is. Right here, right here, right here.
Ah, you stole it from me. Okay, so we are now actually, that cave was, the cave entrance was the cave entrance was right there because you'd gotten past the climb. Okay, so continuing on up, you don't go too much further when you see, let's see here. So as you get up to about up here in this cleft, it's the edge actually of a very deep crevasse, and there's nowhere to go here but down. And looking around, you see a collapsed tent half buried in the snow right near the precipice, and jutting out of the snowbank is a pair of blue leather boots. And next to that, there's a figure in cold weather clothing sitting in the snow with knees pulled tight into the chest. And I have a handout, which I shall show you.
Oh no, all of our rope! Ah, wait, it's a good thing I negotiated for that explorer's pack. Because you know what's in an explorer's pack? More rope!
So you see the figure in cold weather clothing sitting in the snow with knees pulled in tight and horns protruding from underneath the fur-lined hood.
Okay. Do they appear to still be like moving? I mean, I know what the handout says, but
no, they do not appear to be moving. So you come up and you look very closely, and Garret and Perilou, Garret gasps and Perilou says,
How far down
Asterix!
are they?
How far down where?
You said they were in the crevice.
No, they're at the top of the crevice.
Oh, okay, cool. So we can just walk up to them.
By the tent. Yes, you can just walk up to them. No, if you come up, are you going to, I assume you're going to investigate her carefully?
absolutely.
I had planned to just walk up and go, "Hey, you!" And, you know.
So the woman appears to be frozen solid dead. And the blue boots, as you sort of dig out, seem to be attached to what is probably a dwarf based from the build, but it is missing a head.
Oh, well, then he won't miss these boots. And I start to slide them off his feet.
I ask
Oh
the
my
halfling. The half.
What? They're blue. They're clearly made of finer material. We can
could
sell
at
these
least
in town.
wait. You could at least wait till the two like friends of these people are looking away.
They
Why?
don't know who the dwarf is.
Oh, I assume
I
they did.
know. We don't. I don't know
Even
who
if it
that
was their
is.
friend, I'm not letting anything go to waste.
So Tallies will ask the two new people. So did Asterix follow any particular deities or anything that you know of?
Do wizards normally?
They sometimes worship Ogma, god of knowledge.
I don't happen to know. I mean, and Perry was saying, I'm a follower of Yondala myself.
I'll whisper a short, since I am sort of trained in religion, whisper a short prayer in Infernal, basically wishing Asterix to enjoy herself in Ogma's great library. And following that, I will start investigating the area for signs of her spellbook. and
Yes.
any other, because it would be I mean, one of the worst things to a wizard is lost and wasted knowledge. So yeah, finding it and
I
being
will
able
assist
to
you in
recover
searching
it.
the bodies for the spell book. That could be useful.
It's so in Tally's words, it's what she would have wanted.
Yeah, that's right. It's what she would have wanted. She wouldn't have wanted her spellbook to go to waste.
While we're looting these
It's
corpses,
such a bad excuse.
Garret, is this them?
This is her. She was the. I don't know who that is. Pointing at the blue boots. But this is the last member of my party, so that's all of us accounted for.
I walk over to Asterix and thrust my hands into their pockets. My condolences, as I start ruffling around.
Pip's just kind of like standing back, just like hand over mouth the entire time.
So she's wearing some good quality cold weather gear.
Oh, let's take that.
And digging around in the pockets, you do find a stoppered vial. And there is a leather-bound book.
I immediately hold it out to Tali.
Yep, Tallies takes it, and if there's any signs of a pack nearby, he's going to start digging through that for, again, more books. I mean, wizards may have a spell book, but
Does she have
they
an
often have a
arcane
notebook
focus
as well.
and or a component pouch? I would recognize that's valuable as well.
She has a component pouch.
Oh, yes, let's just take that.
And where is the magic? I forgot where we put the magic items.
They should be at the very top of your journal.
I thought they were, but I moved them, and I don't know where I moved them to.
I still see them in the very top of the journal. Oh,
Very
you
top
mean
of the
the
journal.
magic items folder? Player characters,
yes.
Appendix D, magic items.
Appendix D. I don't. Anyways, Spartan, I have a handout that has the spells listed in it for you.
Okay, excellent.
So, okay, and so you do find a component pouch. Digging around, are you guys also searching the kind of ruined camp and the dwarven body?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's see. Around the dwarf's body, we have. Yes, that's it. You found it. Thank you.
It was where I said it was.
And I'm still not seeing it. I don't know why I'm not seeing it. So go.
It's in the
figure.
player folder.
But anyways. Huh?
It's in the player folder.
Oh, right there.
Because then,
underneath my
when
name.
you reveal it to them, it stays in their folder.
Yes. And I consolidated some stuff. Yes. and I had added this under books. I knew where it was, but that was like 2 weeks ago.
Bing! There it is.
Anyway, so Asterix's spell book. There you go, Spartan. I mean, there you go, Talus.
Okay.
So let's see. You also find an empty wineskin,
Empty.
a half-eaten block of goat's cheese, a miner's pick,
Oh, taking that.
a lantern,
That too.
some various bags and things that look like they were designed for mining. I mean, it looks like a mining camp. I mean, there was kind of the pan thing for trying to sift out small particles of things and wash things. Let's see. We do not see a pack. She had the component pouch on her. You do not see a pack on the wizard. What else do we have here? So there's the potion. There's the spell book.
You want me to read you what I wrote down so far?
Yes, please.
I took his blue boots,
Mhm.
her cold weather gear. There's the stoppered vial, the component pouch, the miner's pick, the lantern, and that was where I stopped reading.
An empty wineskin and a half-eaten block of goat's cheese.
Wineskin.
And there is another box that contains some other provisions, like some dried meats and stuff that is inside the tent, the fallen tent.
Probably too heavy to carry. Because that doesn't sound like that fit in my pack.
It would not fit in your pack.
Okay, then it's getting left behind. It's not practical.
I mean, looking at the signs here, you can infer that this was a solitary miner. The dwarf was a solitary miner that was up in this area and ran afoul of the Yetis.
Womp.
You can't. I mean, it looks like the woman died, froze to death. You don't see any wounds on her.
Well.
Okay. So, having determined the fate of his party, and quite discouraged, Garret and Perilu are, prepare to head back down the mountain. They are actually, she had hired him from Targos. He is from Targos, and he is going to retrieve what he can of his dogs and his camp stuff to return to Targos. And do you wish to come with? You asked for compensation. And Perilu's also from Targos. She says, I don't think I'm going to be an adventurer anymore. I think I'm going to settle down in a nice temple and just.
How's that sound to everybody else? If we escort these two back to Targos, then...
I mean, if we head to Targos, we have to pretty much go past Tourmaline anyway, so we may as well stop off there to rest and whatnot, and then head to Targos.
Yeah, I mean, if we escort them, we get just a little bit more coins, and I mean, there's nothing better to do. Yeah.
But yeah, I'm totally okay with escorting them to Targos, as long as we just make a quick pit stop in Tourmaline.
Tourmaline and Targos.
Okay. So I think we shall go back down the mountain to the base camp. And you will get to the base camp. It will be evening. What's that?
We're going to collect our pins and our rope as we go.
Yes, of course you are.
Yep.
You specified earlier that you were planning to. And I think we are going to... Azathoth, actually, as you are gathering your rope, at one of the places down where you guys fought the crate cat, you see a small little glitter and glimmer of color.
Endwise, I have my hands full carrying all this other stuff. Can you pick that up? There's something there.
I'm barely standing as it is. Looks down at his wounds.
You need to send it to me as a person rather than to GM if you don't want Warbucks to see it.
What? That's notice I turned on my GM tag so that
So I think we're gonna gather at base camp and sort of regroup there, and we will pick up there next time.
Sounds like a plan. You said we're level 10 now, right?
I did
I think
not
that's
say
what- I
you're
think
at
that's what I
level
heard.
10.
I
did
actually,
However,
I heard
you...
13, so.
Yeah.
I think she's gonna say it.
No.
Oh,
No.
4?
Oh.
3.5?
Oh,
3.5.
No!
Okay, he's dead. Pip
She
is
was on
dead.
the hook, man!
He misspoke. He said 4.5.
I did say 4.5.
Damn you! All right. Well, thank you all for coming and hanging out. Appreciate you being here. Hopefully you had enjoyed yourself. And if you did, make sure you hit that follow button. If you haven't already, come and join us in the Discord. Hang out through the week. Join us as we talk about D&D, play D&D, do all kinds of other fun stuff.